FaceTime.
Hello, we're going to start math now. So if you're not muted, please go ahead and mute. Looks like almost everybody. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Today is Thursday, April 2nd, 2020. Let's see. How about Maheen, what's today? So you can unmute yourself and then tell us what's today. Maheen, are you there? I think, did I lose Maheen? Okay, I'm gonna move on to someone else.
She has.
Oh, there you are, Maheen. I'm gonna hide you, but you need to unmute yourself. There you go. Okay, Maheen, what's today?
Today is Thursday, 2nd, 2020.
You're right. So we want to just add the month. So Thursday.
Day, April 2nd, 2020.
Nicely done, Maheen. Hudson, what was yesterday?
Yesterday was Wednesday, April 1st, 2020.
Super job, Hudson. Annie, what will tomorrow be? Don't forget to unmute yourself, Annie.
Tomorrow is Friday, April 3rd, 2020.
Excellent job. Thank you so much, Annie. So we're going to take a look now. You'll be using your whiteboard. We're going to do a magic number 2 today. Again,
Okay.
pretty simple, not a super exciting magic number because it's a little number. So I'm going to challenge you again to do the same thing we did yesterday. What I want you to do is to come up with a subtraction problem. And I would love it if your subtraction problem could start with a number that is greater than 10. For example, I'll give you what I might choose for my subtraction problem. 13 minus 11 equals 2. Okay? Go ahead and show me with a raised hand on your screen. So by clicking the hand raise, if you have another way to make 2. All right, I see some hands going up. Alishba, go ahead and unmute yourself and tell us how to make 2. Go ahead.
3 minus 1 equals 2.
Good job. If you can see, Alishba's is very similar to mine. Mine just has something in the tens place, right? Otherwise, our problems are exactly the same. Nicely done, Alishba. Grayson, go ahead and unmute yourself. How can we make 2?
600 minus 598.
Wow, nicely done. 600 minus 598 equals 2. You got it. Well done, Jackson. What's another way?
Um, 18 minus 16 equals 2.
18 minus 16 equals 2. Well done. Let's see. I do see that I have lots of hands up. I love seeing your hands up. I'm not going to be able to call on everyone for this one. So I hope that you're writing it down on your board. Andy, how about you?
Hold on.
Okay.
Want to show her? Or do you want to go ahead and say it, Andy?
No, wait.
You want to say it? Okay, go.
1,998 equals 2.
1,000 minus 998 equals 2. Does that look right, Andy, what you said?
Yes.
Well done. You picked a very tricky one. Good for you. You stretched yourself. I love it. Let's do one more for this. There'll be other chances for you to participate if I don't call on you now. I'm going to go to Samanvi. Don't forget to turn your mute off. Oh, there you go.
100 minus 80, not 80, 90, 70, 97.
So I'm sorry. You want me to start with 97?
Yeah,
Okay, 97.
I think it's, no, 100 minus 97 equals 2.
So here's the thing. I'm going to do a pound and count on that one. So I'm going to say 97, 98, 99, 100. So 100 minus 97 would be 3. What could I subtract instead from 100, Samandi?
100 minus 98.
Very nice. And if you take a look, if you look at Grayson's and Andy's, you can see that pattern that when I have a 0 in the ones place, I need to have an 8 in the ones place of the number I'm subtracting in order to get 2. Well done, everybody. Thank you. And if your hand is up right now, I'm going to ask you to lower it. Now, we're going to move on. Okay, I'm going to show you something else here on the document camera. White background. And I just want to talk a little bit about shapes for just a minute, and then we're going to kind of get on with our next part of our lesson. Next week, we are starting a new module all about shapes. And so as I mentioned, if you were in morning meeting this morning, we're starting with, or actually it might have been at the end of ELA, I don't know. But we're starting with two-dimensional shapes. That means flat shapes, okay? So these are the different flat shapes that will be included. And I'm always kind of sad that there is no circle, because a circle is also an important shape. But when we're building with shapes and doing what's called composite shapes, that's when you put 2 or more shapes together to make another shape. We don't use circles for that. We use shapes that have sides and corners, okay? And we're going to be talking a lot about the sides and corners of shapes, okay? I would bet that most of you know the names of these shapes. So we're just going to do a real quick review. Some of this might be from kindergarten even. Some of you, it might even be from preschool, but we're going to just review the names of the shapes, and then we're really diving into shapes next week. Okay, so now, if you know the name of this shape, either raise your hand or type it in the chat box. I love to see all the hands going up. Wonderful. Isa, what's the name of this yellow shape?
Hexagon.
It is a hexagon. And I know that it's a hexagon because it has 6 sides. Any shape with 6 sides is called a hexagon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thank you, Isa. How about this green shape? The green shape. Kyler.
The green shape is called a triangle.
It sure is. Thank you, Kyler. The green one is a triangle.
Miss
This
Draper
one, the fancy name for this one would be an equilateral triangle. All the sides are the same on this triangle. Okay, how about this one? The orange shape, Rithvik.
Actually, I can't see the shapes.
You cannot see, can everyone? Well, obviously others can see the shapes. So I'm sharing my screen with you. Did you minimize any of your screens?
No, I was trying to zoom out, but I can't see anything. I can't zoom out.
I'm sorry, can you ask your mom or dad to help you with that at your house? I'm not sure how to do that on whatever device you're using.
It's an iPad.
Okay, why don't you ask your mom or dad to help you to do that? Okay, thank you.
Oh, now, wait, Miss Draper, I can see it now.
Okay, what's the orange shape, Rithvik?
Square.
Awesome,
My favorite.
thank you.
And did you know the square is actually my favorite shape?
I did not know that, but I'm glad to know it. I'm glad you got to tell us about it. Okay.
And also, some squares are also not squares because they're created by some triangles.
That's true. That's when we're talking about composite shapes, and we'll be talking more about those next week. This one's a little bit trickier. I'm wondering if anyone knows the name of this red shape.
I know.
Okay, so keep yourself, remember, muted, because I'm going to call on hands, okay? Aaliyah, do you know the name of the red shape?
I can't see it.
You can't see the shapes. Are you on an iPad?
No, I'm on a computer. It says.
Yeah, I'm not sure why. I'm assuming others are seeing it because I'm getting lots of hands raised.
It says your meeting. I don't know. It's on the wrong screen.
I'm gonna check. Let me check in with someone else, Aaliyah, to make sure that everyone's not having the same problem. Kaylin, can you unmute yourself?
There you go. It's coming back.
Kaylin, can you see it?
Draper, I know. Yeah.
Okay, Kaylin, do you know the name of the red shape?
I think it might be a hexagon.
You know what? Here's the funny thing about the red shape. So the yellow shape is a hexagon, but if I take two reds and put them together, I can actually make a hexagon. The red one by itself is not a hexagon.
It's Draper, I know.
Okay, hold on. I'm looking for hands.
No, right now it does say there's no date.
Okay, let's see. How about, oh, I have 10 people with hands up. My goodness. How about Zainab?
Hexagon.
You're close. You're so close. All right, I'm going to count to 3. And when I get to 3, guys, if you think you know this shape, I want you to unmute, say the shape, and then mute again. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Trapezoid. Trapezoid.
It is a trapezoid.
I thought it was going to be a trapezoid.
It's a trapezoid. It is. It's kind of a fun word to say.
I got it
Very
right.
close. It's a trapezoid.
All right, go ahead and mute yourselves in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Thank you. We have these funny shapes at the bottom, and believe it or not, these shapes have the same name. They look different because the length of their sides are different, right? A lot of kids think that this shape is called a diamond, right? It looks like a diamond shape. And I understand why you might call it a diamond, but we actually have a math term for this shape.
Rhombus.
Does anyone know? Raise your hand. Okay, Hudson, go ahead.
Rhombus.
It is a rhombus. Okay, so I want you to get used to calling this shape a rhombus when you're doing math instead of calling it a diamond. All right? Next week, we are going to be talking about the characteristics of these shapes. We're going to be talking about sides and angles and open shapes and closed shapes and all things shapes. Okay?
And endpoints.
Well, when we talked about endpoints, that was when we were doing measurement. It's a little bit different with shapes.
Miss
You'll
Draper?
find out next week. Okay, I'm going to move us on here. I'm going to stop the share for a minute. Please keep your video off for now. I'm going to share one more thing first. Actually, let me check the chat box to see if I've missed anything. Hexagon. We are on an iPad and we can see. Thank you, Andy. So it's not the iPad. Okay, I think I'm caught up on the chat. All right, I'm going to show, if you have something on your whiteboard, like I have all of this on my, I've got all of this still on my whiteboard. I'm going to go ahead and erase it. So you go ahead and erase your whiteboard, and then we're going to move on to something else. So you're just getting ready right now.
I don't have an eraser.
So if you don't have an eraser, I just found a rag at my house. I did not bring an eraser home either. You could use a paper towel. You can use an old rag. You can even use, a great thing to use is an old sock. Like if you have a sock and it doesn't have a match, it makes a great eraser. Okay, so I'm going to erase mine. So I'm back to blank. And I'm actually not going to be able to,
question.
just one sec. I'm not going to be able to put something on the ladybug because I'm going to share a different screen with you. Jackson, do you have is it you who has a question, Jackson?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Did you know that the rhombus, it looks like a parallelogram?
That is another fancy name for it. Okay, so Jackson, I have a challenge for you. Are you ready, Jackson?
Yes.
Okay, here's what I want you to do. I want you to see if you can do some research this weekend and see if you can find out what the difference is, if there is a difference between a rhombus and a parallelogram. Do you think you can handle that?
Yeah.
I think you can too. I'll also email that to your mom, but you could be our rhombus expert if you could figure out what the difference is, because I have heard both terms used. Okay, I'm going to share something with you guys right now. My fingers are crossed that it will work. Okay, I'm going to ask, let's see, how about Deacon, are you able to see what I'm sharing on the screen?
Yeah.
You can. Do you see the picture with the marker?
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you, Deacon. Okay, guys. This is what you're going to work on your personal whiteboard. I'm going to read it to you. I want you to draw a picture and add a number sentence to solve this problem. Here's the problem. And actually, they gave you 4 choices. So if you're really, really, really stuck, you can look at the 4 choices. I bet some of you don't even need the choices. Here's the question. There are 14 markers. Michaela has 5 markers. Marcus has 3 markers. Morgan has some too. We don't know how many she has. We just know she has some. How many markers does Morgan have? So I want you to work on your whiteboard. I want you to figure out, using a picture and a number sentence, how many markers Morgan has. I'm going to be back in 1 minute, and I will know that you have solved this problem if your hand is up. I'm going to put all the hands down first right now, okay? I will give you more than 1 minute to solve it, okay? Because some of you might need a little longer, and that's fine. So take your time, do your best to solve this problem, and then we will go over it together, okay? Okay, I see that looks like Deacon has solved the problem. And Andy has, and Hudson has. I'm looking at the hands that are up, Alishba and Samanvi, Rithvik, Zainab, Shane, Abhinav. I'm going to give you some more time. Aaliyah has solved it. Shane, did I already say Shane? Annie and Kaden. If you're stuck at all, it's okay. Mahim Jackson, you've got it. It's okay because we're going to go over it together in a minute.
Six markers. Six. 6 plus 3 plus 9. 9 plus 5. I know the number already.
Remember, don't blurt the answer. Think win-win.
Miss Draper.
Yes.
I wrote it in the chat box.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna be a loss.
All right, I'm going to switch your view now, guys. Well, in a minute. Hold on. Wait a sec.
Everybody's angry and stressed. I was so chill coming into today too. I was like,
Have you
we're
eaten?
just gonna write out a job description.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and change the share right now
That's what I thought.
to, one second. I'm going to share my ladybug. Okay. Okay, guys, take a look at the screen, please. So I just made some notes about what the information that I know. I know Michaela has 5 markers. I know that Marcus has 3 markers. I don't know how many Morgan has, but I do know that the total is 14. So before I started my picture and before I started to try to solve this, I turned this into a number sentence, and here's what mine looks like. 5 plus 3 plus blank equals 14. So I know that Michaela has 5, and I know that Marcus has 3. I don't know how many Morgan has, but I know altogether they have 14. Someone raise their hand and tell me how you solved this. Maheen, how did you solve this? You can turn yourself off of mute.
Because I counted. First I counted 5 and 3 equals 8 and 6 more equals 14.
Okay.
So that's
So you knew that 5 plus 3 made 8, and then you knew it was 8 plus blank equals 14. Maheen, how did you know that 6 was what you needed to add to 8 to make 14? How did you solve that?
because I added 8 to 6 and 8 plus 6 equals 14.
Did you just know that 6 was the partner for 8, or did you pound and count on?
Pound and count.
Very good. Thank you, Maheen. Nicely done. If you solved it a different way than pound and count on, and you want to share, raise your hand. I would love to hear your other strategies. Kaden, what strategy did you use?
Pound and count on.
Did you pound and count on from 8?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Kaden. How about you, Joanna?
You hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay, so I use a number bond.
Tell me about your number bond.
A number bond helps because you have one number on the top, and then if you know there's 8, you have to get the other number in there.
So what would go on the total, Joanna?
14.
14, and then you mentioned that the part you knew was
8.
8. So Joanna, how did you figure out what went into the missing part?
I thought it was 8 but I think it was 8. That's what I thought.
You thought the other one was 8 too?
Yeah, because 4 plus 4 got me confused.
Oh, I see. That makes sense why that would be confusing. Here's how you could use this number bond and use this great strategy that Joanna has. I can say the number 8 right here, and I can draw as I count on to 14 like this. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And I can look and see how many I counted on. I can see that it's 6. Thank you, Joanna. Kyler, did you solve it a different way?
Why is it called
Kyler, are you there? I saw your hand up. Yes, no? Okay. Anybody else have a different strategy that they used? I'm going to take one more strategy.
How I did it was.
Kyler, good.
How I did it was. Is like. So I used the sticks, and
Okay.
I put 4 markers. I used 4 and I used 5 and then I kept counting on and then
Kyler, it sounds like you used your sticks for your counters. So your sticks kind of represented the, what were we writing about again? Oh, markers. You use sticks to represent markers, yes? That is a great strategy. If you need to use counters, please, please do. It doesn't matter what kind you use. Anything can be a counter. Okay, nicely done. I'm going to stop the share right now and I'm going to turn the recording off.